Hello, everyone. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Scorpion72. I've been gone for almost, let's see, about 3 years. Almost 3 years. Lots happened since then. Moving, marriage, lots of relatives. Nevertheless, I've noticed one consistent thing is that I'm still been getting subscribers, which I'm very grateful for. And you know what? It's prompted me to kind of come back out of the shadows. I was actually supposed to do it at the beginning of last year. Kind of when Mattel lost their license to DC line. As you know, most of my videos revolve around DC and DC Collectibles DC Direct, which was a shocker too. DC Collectibles DC Direct is no longer existent. So they're gone. McFarlane took over the DC line. Um, I think I'll do about the videos about that in particular because I like a lot of DC and stuff. And I have to laugh a bit too because it's funny. Because when McFarlane got the line, everybody was like, "Hell no, I ain't getting these figures. This is that. This is awful and stuff like that. Yada yada yada." But it's funny to see, like a year later, how many of you all going after these figures like crazy. Like even up here in Canada, it's hard to find some of the later figures right now. If you do find them, you can't sleep on them because they don't linger around for long. The first wave is still very much available or evident that you can find them pretty much almost everywhere still, but that won't last for long as for a lot of McFarlane product, you see a lot of it today, but in a few months you don't see it no more. And then on the aftermarket, it goes up. Just look at what's a good example of looking at stuff like that. Mortal Kombat right now, some of his earlier figures have gone up. Doom is up in that area. A lot of the Walking Dead, any of like the retro type of like when he's doing like the trying to bring back Spawn a few years ago, which now he's doing a lot of Spawn figures in the Mortal Kombat line. Gives an opportunity to do that. Even now he's just branching out and doing like a gold label of stuff to bring back Mandalorian. That's sorry, I'm thinking Mandalorian. Just saw Mandalorian. It's really good. What do you call it? Mandarin Spawn and stuff like that. So in that general, like as much as people might want to hate on the guy, he knows what he's been doing. He's been doing this for a very long time. I remember the time when he first came out with Spawn, and let's just say the toy aisles were pretty bleak, boring. There was like maybe like the animated Marvel stuff online from Toy Biz, and superhero stuff is almost like dying out. Even the Batman animated series is almost like a lot of stuff was running the course. And he came around and he changed the game, literally changed the game with his detail, painting, everything. Got me hardcore back into collecting. I remember again, everything McFarlane did, every Spawn and stuff like that. And be honest, like if you guys see my video, you know I don't need to like not tell you what's going on. Is that I dropped off of that because he's doing too much like statues. So I don't understand if it's the artist thing he wanted to do, but for me, I need like an action figure that can move and not break. The back then the plastic, a lot of companies, him and DC Direct were using like these clear plastics. And clear plastic joints don't last long. They don't even last out of the package. Literally they just break. They just really brittle and break. So that drove me away from anything McFarlane did. I don't talk about a lot of McFarlane because overall, well, he's a Canadian like guy, but he's a pinnacle of like basically if you do what you really passionate about and really want to do, you can get it done. There may be a few stumbles and stuff here and there, but in the end, you can get it done. It's nice to see the turnaround with Toy Biz too, from Toy Biz to Hasbro to like the whole Marvel Legends line. Even then, when I was there with the beginning Marvel Legends, the first four figures you saw was like the Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, and Toad, which I am still surprised to this day that they have not done a Told figure yet. They have not redone this guy. I don't know why. They basically have all the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, but not Told. And Told was the least articulated figure, but he ended up ranking the highest amount of value on the aftermarket after a few years. Like, you could find him for like $10 at the beginning because nobody really wanted him. He's just like, almost like what, 5-6 points of articulation and Told stuck in his hand, and they were selling him cheap. But now, like, that's the only comic accurate Told figure out there, and Hasbro has yet to redone him. They did the Hellfire Club and still no Told. They did like everybody. Well, there's Told and there's who else? Avalanche I haven't done yet. With Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and Blob. So maybe they're doing a 5-pack or plan something for that. But Marvel Legends really blew up. Again, that's a line that I was heavily into. Like, maybe one day I'll just go through my archive pictures of how much Marvel Legends I had all of them, exclusive stuff, and now it's like, okay, when it died down and then they tried to come back and the articulation wasn't that great and stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And the Helix line and the Hercules figures I had for that line. And like it was just bad. And then they just disappeared. Came up with 2-packs every now and then, maybe like 3 2-packs per year. And then it just came out of the blue and came back strong, and then it just built up, and now there's no way you can go like a month, 2 months minimum before a new Marvel Legends figure out on the shelf, and a lot of them. And a lot of the characters are repetitive, some of them are new, but overall it's just abundance. Like, Marvel Legends has come into like one of those lines like Star Wars that you have to pick and choose almost which line you want to collect, or you collect both, but you gotta have the space for it. I'm same thing with Transformers. They've come back and bounced back really strong from, but then again, Transformers never really died out. That's at least one line I could say that's always been consistent throughout every other line is Transformers, that they've had something going on for a long, long time. What's another line? There's Star Wars had a few hits and misses and stuff, but they managed to come around, especially the Black Series and stuff. And now the Mandalorian, like, re-energizing the Star Wars franchise better than any of the movies have. They're coming back heavy, but a lot of the vehicles and stuff are way expensive. Almost the price of like Lego build box. And Lego is another thing that I can't believe how much it costs for a Lego box, like to build like a Star Destroyer or Millennium Falcon. $600 for a box of bricks that you have to build it yourself. Like, wow, kudos to any of you guys who can do that, because I didn't have the patience to build Legos and Transformers, especially back when I wanted to play with them. I didn't have the patience to transform them. I wanted to do them like in the cartoon, 1 month vehicle, few seconds, you got the robot. I had no time for that. My thing was G.I. Joe. And then G.I. Joe, again, hit, miss, came back, kind of expensive for 3 3/4 inch. It was building up, and then they banked everything on the movie that got delayed because people wanted in 3D, and that kind of killed the 3 3/4 inch line on retail. But now that finally we get 6-inch figures, that's really brought up G.I. Joe to a whole new level of crazy ass collectors just going ham on it. And like, literally, man, like, you got people lining up at stores, especially for exclusives like Target, which you don't have a Target here anymore in Canada. They lasted like about a year. That's because somebody lied to them and said you make a lot of money if you did this, but it didn't bank on the long run. Anyways, yeah. So to see people lining up for like figures of G.I. Joe, like it was Boxing Day or Black Friday, it's crazy. Don't blame them. Kind of blame Hasbro for that, because some of the other companies' smart thing to do is like, if you do an exclusive, you make it like San Diego Comic Con. A lot of times you'll make it like it's something that you kind of need but didn't really need to have. The thing is that Hasbro's putting G.I. Joe main characters as exclusives in Target. So we had like Cobra Infantry Troopers, which are having, Cobra Iron Troopers there, with having infantry troopers, having regular troopers come out. Thank goodness. But you have a main character like Baroness, and Beachhead as exclusive. And this time around, you have Firefly and a Viper as exclusive. An army builder, again, that makes it just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know who's marketing this, but on one hand, yeah, them doing it that way. Another hand, it's Hasbro. And as you saw with the Thanos and his like henchmen that you had to go hunt down almost one by one, they came off a 5-pack of them. So I'm banking, or I should say, I won't say banking, but I'm betting that probably Hasbro's gonna do a friggin' 5-pack of all those Cobra Island figures that you all missed. Or some of you who didn't miss, they're gonna do a 5-pack, maybe make an Amazon exclusive. So you're gonna get like the Trooper, the Viper, Baroness, Beachhead, and Firefly in a 5-pack, probably by summertime or something like that, because they know there's a demand, they know people need those figures, or they're just reissue like some of them in a different card back or something, or maybe different style. Firefly, they probably like, I know not everybody's keen on the Firefly look right now. They may do him in like his classic look. Baroness, it can easily reissue in a single card, or even make her like some people are saying make her blue like in the first G.I. Joe animated movie. They could do both, which would be even cooler to give people a chance to have the actual like Baroness in their black suit and Baroness in the blue suit. So what have I seen throughout the years? Even though I haven't been on YouTube, I still been very active in watching and keeping an eye on what's new in toys, what's old, what's here, what's gone. Popular things now are definitely Transformers, G.I. Joe, DC's kind of getting resurgence. Marvel Legends is just blowing it out of the water. Yeah, Power Rangers, a lot of this stuff, and some retro stuff. Turtles has turned out big. Like, if you're a Turtles fan and you're not collecting one of those turtle lines, then you're not really a Turtles fan, because you can't say there's nothing there you don't want or you don't like. You have company that's doing cartoon turtles. You have one that's doing video game turtles, and you have one that's doing movie turtles. All of those are NECA just alone. Then you have Super 7 who's doing the retro turtles, and they're doing them based on what Playmix did, made them like, but even the actual in scale size according to the character. And they're doing the 3.75 inch, 3 or 5 inch 5 points articulation turtles, which the artwork on those cards look amazing. Then you have some other companies doing bigger turtles. I think Mondo's still doing them. I'm not sure. Then you have NECA doing the 1/4 inch turtles again. Like, I tell you, like, if you like the turtles from either the cartoon, video game, they'll be heading into the comic books just now in the movie. There's a company, or at least one or two companies, definitely making those out there. So you can definitely get your main turtles that you really, really like, main turtle like era that you really, really like. And it's out there for you to get. I'm just stoked that they're doing like NECA's doing like Defenders of the Earth. Like, yeah, some people complaining a little bulky and stuff, but hey, it's Defenders of the Earth. Like, I remember when those things came in Toys R Us, like back in like, what was it, late 80s, something like that. They're like, oh, okay, not too bad. But now it's like, okay, I think I'll get them this time. Um, Batman animated series, done obviously because DC Collectibles that changed their name back to DC Direct to kind of pull the rug and say to everybody bye bye. So there was a lot of stuff that was released, but then again, I find the time when DC changed to New 52, that's kind of when things fell off and was on schedule, because on one hand there's a lot of good figures that were about to come out. The New 52 comic book emerged, and then that all fell the wasteland, and they had all these figures and they were consistent, but they started losing the consistency, and they started not releasing figures that they had pre-ordered, which was really strange, because as one thing, DC collectibles at the time, a lot of times, if they had something for you preview and you pre-order it, if that's something to pre-order and you pre-order it, you go get it. Except for the damn Dr. Fate helmet. Twice they pre-order that thing and still not. How hard is it to make a Dr. Fate helmet? Really? Like Constantine had his TV show. Smallville had a TV show. Who else had a TV show? How hard is it to make Dr. Fate helmet? For real. That is my grill. It's a Dr. Fate helmet. Get a little dried hair. Root beer, kids. Root beer. So, what's the thing? Oh yeah, Batman animated series. A lot of characters missed. They redid a few characters around the end. Decided to do new adventures of Batman, or the adventures continue. That line I think span out maybe 8 figures, uh, maybe 10. There was like 4 of them are new, which I have Deathstroke. Right here actually. Let's just turn the camera. As you can see, you have Deathstroke, Red Hood, Azrael Batman, and Batman Armor. And the rest were just repeats, basically like Joker, Robin, Batman with like ab articulation, and Harley Quinn. Because who doesn't want Harley Quinn? It's kind of played out now, kind of like Deadpool. Like it's only so much. Like remember we all tired Wolverine and Iron Man, and then these guys came along. Now you kind of want back Iron Man and Wolverine again. So what else is there? Mezco is a funding company because they barely hit their dates unless it's the Rumble Society figures, which when they say they come out, they come out. They have them out for pre-order one day or buy them now and they'll be out in less than a month, which is getting people in a little uproar, kind of get people a little angry. So Mezco these days are kind of pissing off their customers because there's a certain batch of figures that should have been out and they're not out yet. And for them to do figures out of the blue and have them out now, it's another niche company that I realized that slowed down along the Marvel. DC, they went heavy on the Batman. They're now starting to do a few of the other characters, but lately you're being to like Mystic now because I don't know what happened to that Constantine, that prototype they showed like I think last year, but they showed a prototype of Doctor Fate that was pre-ordered like you could pre-order like 2-3 months ago, but Constantine just disappeared. So I don't know where he went to. Pun intended. Yeah, so oddball stuff. Like for me, it's like I'm kind of weaning off a bit. Maybe weed off a bit the Mezco line or something. I don't know because they're really not pumping them out like they used to. Not really like that enthusiasm's not there. They seem to be hooked on their own like gimmick and line with the Mezco mascot, the Rumble Society, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the route they want to go, fine, let people know, and just do that, and then leave the superhero stuff for the other companies that have the license. Same thing goes for like Meta, what is it, Mafex. They're delayed and stuff. Like a lot of these companies have pre-orders of nice figures, but they can't hit the shipping dates. They just can't hit them. Unlike I don't know, Hasbro. Hasbro's hitting them. Like they show you some stuff and when it's supposed to come out, they come out like almost a month or two before. NECA is not too bad with that. McFarlane, jeez, McFarlane show you a figure and like in a video and like if you're not careful, a month later it's out there or 2-3 months is out there. With the pandemic that's going on though, that has slowed down a lot for everybody. But nevertheless, it's still striving to get stuff out there. Just a lot of it now it's online because some stores are closed, some stores are only online. Like things have changed. What else is there? I don't want to make this too long. It's already like almost 20 minutes long and stuff like that. Just want to say I'm probably gonna just review stuff that I've been buying lately, what I like. Been trying to niche my collection a bit to like certain things like what did I say? I'm weighing on the G.I. Joe line. I collected everything as a kid. I had all the stuff from G.I. Joe back then. I'm not sure if I want to get back to it. Masters of the Universe, even though I don't have the classic stuff anymore, I do have the still Castle Grayskull. I just got Snake Mountain, and then they come out with Origins. I don't know what the 7-inch line's gonna look like, so I don't know if I'm going to that. But the Masters of the Universe Origins line I like. I don't know why they're not advertising their little hidden gimmick with that more, so that you can actually pop off the heads, arms, and waist and stuff. Like watch Pixel Dan's videos, and you'll see you can just create a whole new character in like 5 minutes, and it's very easy. So like the Sky Sled there with Prince Adam, if you get a lot of them, say you don't want this many Prince Adams, no problem. Just pop Man at Arms, you have Man at Arms on a white T-shirt or whoever you want, a white T-shirt or change around the body. Create a couple of new characters in like 5-10 minutes, which is cool. And that's a really nice thing, a gimmick to have, or actually a gimmick, that like option to have. And I think they should advertise a little bit more. Um, but yeah, what else is there? Storm collectibles. I'm kind of only getting like Golden Axe. The Golden Axe stuff is nice. And DC stuff from them I like to get. Other than that, I think I'm going full fledged into McFarlane figures. Anything he's doing, now that he's added articulation to figures and stuff, and they're quite sturdy. I had a few figures from Doom and even like okay, Batman there, Flashpoint Batman fell and nobody broke. They're fine. So I'm like, okay, I can go into this then. So he's managed to improve on the plastics and stuff. So I'll get some stuff, especially now he's doing like Doom, My Hero Academia, which I started watching. I'm just going through My Hero Academia like no tomorrow, like episode bam bam bam, and it's really good. Like I can see why everybody's wondering why I wasn't watching for the longest time. Tell me I should get into it. I see why. Even though I got the figures, like I don't know these figures, but when I see the show now, I'm like, oh, okay, okay. What are figures they see doing? Witcher. I like the show on Netflix, I believe. I'm getting those figures. Of course, anything DC. My only thing is that I hope he does more classic figures. Close to classic. Right now, the only have is like Batman, Superman, and Flash. But we're getting a John Stewart. So if he goes into the Green Lantern, like Green Lantern Corps and like Green Lantern like universe, that's gonna be really wicked. And I look forward to that. Overall, I'm really impressed. As I started this video out saying about McFarlane and stuff like that, I'm really impressed because he said about 5 waves or something like that. He's lying. Last year was no damn 5 waves. Like if you see the checklist, that's a lot of figures in 1 year. That's a lot of figures. And we already seen a lot of figures come out from now until almost summer. Where we just got a list from somebody leaked a list in the Philippines that he's doing Justice League from the Snyder Cut, and it's like okay then, wow, like okay, like we've gotten figures from that movie before from Mattel, but um, it's gonna be really nice to see what he how he does them, especially with the way he does like the textures of his figures and articulation and stuff. The other thing too I like is that unlike Mattel and DC Direct and DC Collectibles, some of them were able to have figures out during the time of event, and that's what he seems to be doing a lot, is having figures out when events happening in comic books and movies and stuff. So it's still fresh. You know, you don't have to wait a year or so later to get this stuff. But it'd be nice if you goes back and revisit some of those top like storylines like Crisis and Hush and what other ones, popular ones, Death of Superman. It'd be cool if you revisit those and make figures of those. But he wants to make figures that have never been done before, but he should still make figures that people would like and stuff like that. Like, you know, it'd be nice balance, because that's what I think a lot of people respecting this line. And yes, I like Batman, but he was definitely super heavy in the Batman. Like it could have been broken up where, you know, maybe 2 3 Batman figures and some other retro hero like Martian Manhunter and stuff. The wings from the Batman Who Laugh are perfect for Hawkman and Hawkgirl. So hopefully he uses those for that, which I probably think he will. Still don't know why we don't have a Reverse Flash, one of the easiest figures to repaint. And for some reason, a lot of companies don't do that figures right away. I don't understand it. It's not just him. It's like Mattel didn't do a Reverse Flash until the end of the line. Reverse Flash came in wave 20 at the end of the line. It's like, I don't get it. Like, a lot of companies don't do a Reverse Flash like in the second or third wave, and he's like the easiest figure to do because it's just reverse colors of the same figure, a new head sculpt maybe, and that's about it. And that always baffles me. um, so, well, except for DC collectibles, when they did the essentials, they did them at the same time, which was smart because every time Flash comes out, one Reverse Flash. But I do hope he goes down and does some Rogues Gallery because that's lacking. No one's really ever completed a Rogues Gallery of Flash villains, let alone some Superman villains too. But Flash has a nice Rogue Gallery. Flash is like, he's like Marvel Spider-Man, and then if you think of Spider-Man's villains are colorful and various, Flash is like that. Different kind of colorful, various type of villains, and they should be brought into figure form because they just make great figures. Really, they would. So, before I go too long, just want to thank everybody who's still supporting me, watching my videos and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm going to get myself out there and do a little bit more videos and stuff that, my style and stuff as you used to. Maybe a little bit changes here and there. Maybe just more raw and real. I think that's the way I'm going to do it, like a little bit more. I'm thinking that's in my head. I'm just thinking of what I'm going to do. But I got to definitely make it interesting and share the knowledge I have from collecting or seeing toys since the early 80s up until now. Seeing a lot of different toys and a lot of different companies that come and gone and figures and stuff, and had a lot of play sets and action figures in my hands and play with them, and know a lot of friends that have figures too. So should be fun. Anyways, Corby72 signing out. Hey, and what's my line I used to say? Have fun, enjoy your toys, play your toys. I'll come with some new catchphrase, and maybe you guys can help me out with that. All right, till next time. Cheers. Root beer, kids. Root beer.